I'm going to say thank you to my subscribers. One particular one that just left a comment about my sweet voice. Um, Very humbled, and I feel I do this because I like making videos and I like telling you about my life, my experiences, the things I like, the things I don't like. Yes, I have Bob the Goldfish moments, but overall, I just say it as it is. Why can't we just speak our minds? Why can't we just tell people how we feel? I don't know about you, but our society we're living in nowadays just seems so wrong and confused, so blinkered in their direction. They don't look around. It's almost like they are black and white in their vision and they don't see the colour of the spectrum. They don't see all that love. They don't see variety. This is an example. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. You get someone that's good at physics and you're good at maths and really good at, all the brain stuff. But you get him to saw a bit of wood. He wouldn't know where to buy the saw. He wouldn't know what to do with the saw, how to measure up, what's, you know, how do you fit it? How do you do a dovetail joint? How do you, um, you know, turn a square bit of wood into a round one? How do you, um, you got to get, this is a classic example. How do you reduce a 15mm dowel down to 12mm? It's a simple thing to do if you know how. I will explain to you. You drill a piece of metal, something like, I don't know, eighth of an inch thick. You drill, you put a pilot hole through it. Probably the bit of metal is probably about, I don't know, 4 inches long. It doesn't have to be massively thick, right? At one end, you drill a 12mm hole, right? Obviously, you need to punch it with a center punch. So the drill goes into that hole you punched into it. You drill through that with a pilot hole. Then you drill it through with a 12mm steel drill. But obviously you got it in a vise, so it doesn't. Yeah, okay. And then what you do, you mark either side. Probably like, if you can imagine the center of that drill hole is like a triangle. Yeah. So you go 45 degrees down. You punch just enough. So, sorry, let's reword that. So what you do is you basically mark away. Say you're going to use a, let's say, a 8mm drill, right? Slightly smaller. It doesn't have to be 8mm. It can be any size, but it needs to be reasonably big to the process is going to make. And this is a classic example of what I'm trying to explain to you about the practicality of being too knowledgeable, and that is it's not always practical. And as I'm saying, you drill it out, so you mark off, and you drill a hole, so the corner of that drill hole is overlapping the 12mm hole you've already drilled. So what you're doing, that will come into the circle of the 12mm hole, so you'll have a piece of metal missing. And you do that, right? And you do the other side, straight across, diagonally down from the center of that 12mm hole, and you do another one. So that drill hole, say you're using 10mm drill, overlaps and slightly cuts away the metal where the 12mm hole was. Right, so you've got either side. And what you do, your 15mm drill, your drill, you put that, obviously you're not going to use a massive long dowel. You say you want to have a 12mm peg, which is a bit short doweling, yeah? And you've only got 15mm. So what you do, you put one end of that dowel into the chuck of your drill, spin it up and push that dowel through, once it's in the vices again, through that hole, because what that will do, where those two 10mm drill holes either side will act as like a miniature chisel. So as you're spinning it round, they will take off that extra amount from being 15mm down to 12mm. So it's removing that excess. And then you'll come out the other side with a 12mm piece of doweling. Yeah? And that is a tip I learned. And that is how to reduce your doweling size. But I'm not saying super intelligent people don't grasp the practical things. It's just that their mindset is in a different place. And this is what I'm saying is, you might be a rocket scientist, but you can't make things in like a practical way. Or someone like me would not grasp what a rocket scientist does, because my understanding is that I can design things, I can make things. I do a lot of things that are... Shut up. Why is he trying to make a video and everyone starts? Right. I'm not trying to dig myself in a hole here, but all I'm trying to say is being practical. Your mindset might be different to mine. Well, mine is more the practical side of things. And you might think, well, I won't waste my time doing that. But how are you going to learn if you just have that blinkered view and your attitude is more focused on there? But this is what I'm saying about black and white and the colour spectrum. And that is, all you see is black and white. But if you don't see what's outside of that, you're not opening your eyes or not opening your perspective to doing other things. And that's something I found with me, and that is, I'm very open-minded. And it's, again, excuse the birdie. And the practical thing about it is that I can turn my hand to most things. And when you might think, well, you know, what about things like chemical compositions? It's not something I can't learn. It's a case of educating myself to learn it and understanding it, and then using it in a practical way to make new things and other things. That is the difference between most people, I find, is that they don't think outside the box. Well, I try to think outside the box and do things differently and use what I've got and then adapt things to make the best thing possible. So I don't know if you find this video helpful, but it's having the right mindset, having the right attitude, and being practical about it. And no, I couldn't design a rocket ship. But if you asked me to make something that you could use, yeah, I could do that. I can turn my hands to most things. I can do plumbing, I can do electrics, I can do carpentry, I can do metalwork. I can work calculations out. I can design things. It's like another little thing, just off the cuff, and that is I built my own stone tumbler for doing lapidary. Now, why should I buy one? Well, I can make one myself. There's your answer. People have lost the skills from being practical, and they always want things in the easiest way. But what about turning your hand to a new skill? making things for yourself and giving yourself that achievement to make things that you never thought you could do. That's part of the learning process, isn't it? Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. A bit more insight on David and how David looks at things. And please like, share and subscribe. Any questions, please ask. You want to leave a comment down below, please. And thanks for watching. Take care.